So I finally broke down and got a baby subscription box service. I did a lot of research into the different kinds that are out there, and there are a lot, and it's very, very overwhelming. The one that I felt like was advertised the most that caught my attention first was a subscription service called Lovevery, which is what I ultimately subscribed to. So many of these services are alike, but this one stood out to me for a few reasons. So I think this company, like so many companies, was developed by people who became parents, and I guess it was developed by a couple, one of which I think she was really into the just developmental process that a child goes through from babyhood, and I think she decided that she wanted to develop toys and things that were researched and geared specifically for each stage. And her husband, I think, was just somebody who was experienced in building businesses, so they came together and developed this company. And they collaborate with people in neuroscience, people that work in Montessori schools, occupational therapists, and then I think even one person is a vice president of Baby Center, which is one of the apps that I used when I was pregnant and that I continue to use, because a lot of these apps that you have when you're pregnant kind of follow you through when you become a mom. So I still get emails from this company, and I still look at the discussion posts from other moms. And the one thing that's cool about this that I think that you don't always get to do with subscription services is you get to preview what you get in every box. So the boxes come every couple months. They average $40 a month, but you don't get it monthly. You, up until a year from when the kid's born to a year, you get a box every couple months. So it's for every 2 months of development, basically. And then once the kid hits a year, up until 2 years, then it comes every 3 months. So, and I think that it stops after a couple years old. So like it'll renew, you'll get it every time that you're supposed to get it up until you basically hit the age limit. So looking at the boxes, I'm starting this when Vivi's between 5 and 6 months old. It's middle, I think there's only 1 more week left in January. So February 1st, Vivi will be 6 months old. So she's gonna be getting, she would be getting the 5 to 6 month box. But then looking back, what's great about it is when you subscribe, you can actually get prior boxes if you want to, if there are things in it that you want. So I looked at the 3 to 4 month box, and there were a lot of things that I think that Vivi could still get a lot of use out of. And the design is just really cute. It's kind of minimalistic, but it is colorful. It looks like really well designed and good quality. So I guess when I try it out, we'll see if that's true as far as the good quality. I'm not gonna have her try anything out in this video. It's just gonna be an unboxing. But I do vlog. I'm currently backlogged on all my vlogs, but I will vlog her playing with them, just like I vlog her every day, doing different things every day. So I guess that's pretty much the backstory with it. They also have a play mat on their website, which is $140. I have not purchased that yet, or if I will, I don't know. And then they have a block set that looks like it's got a lot of blocks in it. It's kind of expensive. I think that the mat is $140 and the block set's like $90. And I think that's pretty much it. It's just basically a subscription service. So I'm gonna start with the 3 to 4 month box, which is called the Charmer. And I'm just gonna do this video. I'm gonna do a video per box. So I've got the 5 to 6 month box back here, and I'm gonna do another video after this one just to keep them manageable. But this is what the box looks like. You can see every box has a name. They're titled. This is called the Charmer, and again, it's the 3 to 4 month. And it's really cute. It comes in a big box. I don't know if it came in a big box because I was getting 2 boxes, but there's a bigger package and then these are inside. Box designed by experts for your baby's developing brain. And then it has a little cover over the toys. Actually, oh, and then it has a guide to what's in the box. So that's nice, and it tells you what boxes were previously and what's to come, and then it has the current box is highlighted in white here. So the first thing in the box is a mirror, and it's actually pretty decent quality. These are child-safe mirrors, and so they're child-safe, but a lot of child-safe mirrors kind of look like funhouse mirrors, and you can't really see very well in them. This one seems like it's all right quality. And then on the back, a lot of toys I'm finding have like black and white patterns like this. I think it has something to do with how many colors they can see. I think she can see a lot of color now, but when they're first born, I think the colors they see the most are red and blue, maybe. And it's actually pretty well organized in here. After I got the mirror off, the mirror covered everything, but inside it has little compartments, which is kind of cool. So I'm just gonna start with this here. This looks like it's a rattle. It's got a little ball inside, and you can kind of roll it along. It's got the little logo on one side, and it's wood, and it's painted yellow on the inside. Pretty good quality, I think. And then, ooh, this feels nice. Baby's gonna like this. This little teething ring, and it could probably go on her, I think it can't fit on my wrist, but I think it could even fit on her wrist, which would be easy so that she doesn't drop it so much. But I love, okay, there's like, I think it's like a piece of glue or something stuck on it, just like bothering me. And probably you should just ignore it because it will come off and continue with the video. No, Mocha, no, not right now. Mocha wants to come here with me. Okay. Anyway, I love multicolor rainbow things. I just love anything that's colorful. And so these 3 balls here are wood, and then these seem to be made out of, no, Mocha, no. These seem to be made out of silicone. Very nice. And she just had 2 teeth coming in the bottom. I think next she's gonna be getting the 2 teeth on the top, like right in the very center. And she still loves, anything you give her, she puts in her mouth directly. This might be a wooden teether. I'm not really sure. Oh wait, I can actually utilize this thing for anything I'm unsure what it is. So yeah, I was right. It's just a wood triangle teether. And then this is hand-to-hand discs. Okay, so I don't think it comes apart. But I guess you're supposed to do it like this, if the name is any indication, hand-to-hand discs. And it's got that little logo on it. It's all wood. They have a lot of wooden things, which I guess is supposed to be environmentally friendly, all natural kind of thing. Next is a wooden rattle. Each side has like a sky blue color. really, I mean, really good quality and very stylish, I think. This is a play guide. I can get it open. This is a play guide to the Charmer box. So it kind of talks about why the name of the kit the Charmer. It says, because while your baby is simply adorable, in months 3 and 4 you start to see that a little person inside emerge. He now recognizes your face, cooing at you, smiling, and delighting everyone he meets. We designed everything here to help you both make the most of this stage. We're grateful to be sharing this time with you. Just a little message there. And then so it's got little dividers here, little tabs. The first one says what and when. Next one is baby and you, the playthings, and more activities. So it looks like, so it talks about the timeline and when to introduce the different toys to the baby. And reminds you that development happens in age ranges that can span weeks, even months. There are milestones, but not to compare your baby to other babies. You know, every baby kind of develops at their own speed. Vivi kind of seems to be average, kind of seems whatever's going on is on par with how old she is. Your baby likes to explore with his mouth, see you smile, look at smaller objects, hear his own voice, and wave and watch his hands. Vivi is very, very interested in her hands. She'll just hold them like this in front of her and just look at them. So that was in the 3rd month. And then it talks about to give your baby a chance to look in the mirror. I'm always saying, you know, look at the baby. Oh my gosh, it's the baby. She likes looking at the baby in the mirror. Around the house tours, which I feel like I used to do, because when I'm walking her from my bedroom to her bedroom to change her, she's very interested in looking around. She was really interested in lights for a while. Tummy time. She does a lot of tummy time. She really loves tummy time. She prefers to be on her stomach, but she's gotten so much better at being on her back now, because she can flip from front to back, but she still can't do back to front yet. She has to bat at toys and kick legs. She kicks her legs all the time. Skin on skin time with you. I always have her laying on me. I really just have like different stations throughout my apartment during the day that I put her, try and keep her entertained and not crying. One of the things I do is I definitely put a towel on me because she's a drooler and she still spits up at almost 6 months. So, but I have her just laying on me and I talk to her and we play and I stand her up on her legs. Cooing conversations, repeating the sounds back to them, encourages communication. So, you know, baby talk is okay. Repeating the noise that they say kind of teaches them about conversation, the back and forth that conversation does. And it just makes them smile and makes them really happy to hear sounds that they say repeated back to them. She gets a kick out of it. Hold her feet in the air and kick while on her back. She right now loves having her legs in the air and putting her feet in her mouth. Reach for and grasp objects. In this 4th month, give your baby a look at herself in the mirror. Time in just her diaper, which is pretty cold here right now, so she's always got long sleeves and legs. Time outside the fresh air. I live in Seattle. It's currently windy and rainy. We've had snow recently. I do plan on taking her outside more when it becomes warmer, like in the spring and summer. But we'll have like mid-50 degree weather here until June. Give her more complex black and white cards to look at, variety of objects with textures to examine, explore, reach and grasp for, lots of tummy time. Talking about a variety of objects, I really put a lot of time in trying to find toys that I think will be good for her at her stage. One of the things I'm really glad is that the subscription service will seemingly help with that, because of their experts, you know, curating things that are supposed to be great for her development at that particular time. In the 3rd and 4th month, give yourself time to find joy with your baby, memories you create in everyday moments. I definitely find myself like trying to memorize her at different stages because it's been almost 6 months and the 6 months have flown by and there have been challenging times, but you find yourself missing when they're little, that newborn, just that newness that goes away really quickly, that you're never gonna get back. And I'm lucky enough to be a stay-at-home mom, so I try to soak in every minute with her. And I definitely feel really privileged to be able to do that. Compassion as you struggle to balance all the new things in life. And it is a struggle, but a struggle that I'm glad to have and that I am really happy and fulfilled that I've done. A few moments for yourself, an extra long shower, a bath, or time to flip through a magazine. I try to go to the gym every day for an hour. On the weekends, I go out like just to get food and things. I get my nails done, get haircuts if I need them. Just getting out of the house. I went to the dentist the other day. That was a treat. Just getting out, seeing different sights and sounds that are not the inside of this apartment because I'm pretty much in here 5 days a week straight. And I'm not a big like social person, but it is nice to be amongst people. I'm fine with a little bit of interaction. Like when I went to the dentist, it was my new patient appointment where they do the get to know you thing and they ask you a ton of questions. That kind of interaction is fine with me, but I'm not a heavy interactor. I have a very small circle of people in my life, and I don't really get lonely. I just get a little stir crazy, and I have had some issues with postpartum anxiety and depression, and that's made it a little bit hard, but I think I'm getting better. So I'm happy about that. But definitely just getting a break, having time with yourself makes a huge difference. And I'm lucky to have a partner who is a very good dad, very hands-on, and very understanding of me needing my alone time because, I mean, he does go to work hard, and is the sole provider for the family and comes home and takes care of her. So, you know, you could say he doesn't have time for himself. I try to give him time on the weekends, and it's a balance, but he's very, very supportive. Permission to ask friends or family for a favor. I moved 3,000 miles away from my family, and I miss them all the time, but we don't really have that luxury, but we do have each other to lean on. And it's a little encouraging message. They don't need perfect, they just need you. Which is very true. The Playthings tab. Sensory exploration. Just talks about the soft book. So it talks about each item. So the soft book, which I guess as I explain it, I'll show it. Why do this? So newborn baby's reflexes are starting to diminish. The baby's newborn reflexes are starting to diminish. She's beginning to coordinate her eyes, hands, and mouth in order to reach, grasp, and taste things, giving her rich sensory experiences like the black and white cards, varied textures, and sounds in the soft book will help her build foundational connections between seeing and feeling. How to do it. Your baby is very interested in more complex, high contrast images. Her vision is improving, and she wants more of a challenge. Use the soft book to display the more complex black and white cards while talking to her about what she's doing and seeing. Flip to a new card or page when she looks away. Once your baby can relax her fingers, she can grasp things. Watch her fingers and mouth explore the soft book's many textures. I have no doubt that baby will put it in her mouth directly. Open and close the flap over the mirror card, which slides into the book's clear pockets. The soft book is great for tummy time or propped up for sideline. So that is what this seems to be. This is the soft book. The front flap is very colorful, which I'm a fan of, and it has very loud crinkly paper. But these are the inserts that you can put the cards into, which when I get to it, I'll put it in and kind of show how it's done. And then more sensory type things, little triangles with orange polka dots. This is also a crinkle paper with that squeaker. It's currently like between 10:30 and 11 at night, and my husband and my baby are asleep across the apartment, but I really don't want to wake her up. And this orange one, the solid orange one here, has like a rattle, and then this one doesn't come up. It's got pretty teal. There's another page to put a card into. More sensory, little fabric here, ribbon, all ribbon, all ribbon. And then this is just flat and it looks like little waves, but that's very pretty. This page is like a little confetti, very colorful. I love it. More crinkly paper and a spot to put a card. And then on the back it has a little pocket and polka dots. One of the reasons why I really wanted to go back and get this box, the Charmer, was for this, because it looked very cute and I really wanted to be able to get it. Here are those black and white cards. If I can slide them out. So you've got like a little mountain with pine trees on the back. Dog, cat, snail, and a fishbowl. And then this is the mirror card, which has protective film on it that you take off prior to giving to the child. And then of course, back inside the soft box here, or the soft book here, you just insert the card like so. And it says that it can be propped up, so. Reaching with purpose. This card talks about the crinkle bag, which is this right here. Crinkle bag looks like, well, it's a bag. You can put things in it. On the front, there's also a yellow pocket. So it says, with practice, your baby will be able to grasp and manipulate objects placed in front of him. Over the next few months, he'll learn that he can make things happen, that he can move, that he can produce sounds, movements, and effects by touching and exploring. How to do it. Hold the crinkle bag within reach of your baby and move it to make noise. See if he responds by waving his arms or legs in excitement. In month 4, he may be able to reach towards the bag. When babies first start grasping, they can't control individual fingers. Instead, they catch objects between all of their fingers in their palm. With time, your baby will be able to grasp the bag and make crinkle noises himself, which is an early lesson in cause and effect. Yeah, when Vivi was around 3 to 4 months old, we got her rattles, and they're not used to reaching out and grabbing anything, so they are kind of clumsy. But she's almost 6 months, and she's getting a lot better at holding on to things. In her activity mat, when she's on her back, I'll lay things next to her and she will now be able to reach out and grab it and hold it and play with it, put it in her mouth. So she's definitely advancing as she should. All right, so that was the crinkle bag. Next thing, for sensory, speech, and oral motor development. Teethers, okay, so that would be these two things. As soon as your baby is able to hold things, she'll want to put them in her mouth. That's because nerves in her mouth are more developed than those in any part of her body right now. Studies have shown that mouthing objects helps with speech development and also prepares your baby for encountering different food textures. I actually just bought her some food off Amazon. I want to try this food delivery service called Yummy, which I would think it would be cool to do videos on those as well. But just to get her used to it, rather than getting a subscription service and having things go to waste, because Yummy is a very like natural brand that expires pretty quickly. I bought just some like Gerber food off of Amazon that came the other day, and we're gonna be getting her high chair pretty soon. So I'm excited to start her on baby food. Of course, the first year, their main source of food is breast milk or formula. My baby's formula fed. So you kind of supplement with food. I think you start out with 1 to 3 tablespoons and can go up to 9 a day. I could be wrong. I need to go back and reread everything before I actually start doing it. She'll obviously start out with a very small amount anyway. Baby's hands will start to open up during this stage. Stroke the back of each of their hands to help them open them. And it is interesting because my baby, she'll still clench her fist sometimes. All you gotta do is like, gently touch them and then they open just reactively. Place a ring inside her hand. She'll reflexively wrap her fingers around it. Help her keep grasping the ring by gently putting your hand over her fist. The more often you engage your baby's grasping reflex, the sooner she'll be able to open and close her hands voluntarily. The grasping reflex fades after the first 3 months. Remember, putting objects in her mouth is natural right now. It's how she learns about things. Locating sounds. So that should be the little rattle, 2 rattles. So that would be this here and this here. Sometime in month 4, your baby will start to look for and track the sources of the sounds he hears. He'll recognize the sound of his rattle, for instance, even when there are other noises in the background. Understanding that objects and people can make sounds is an early lesson in cause and effect. Shake the rattle into your baby's face. Keep rattling while moving it past his eyes until he notices the rattle making a sound. Now shake the rattle in a rhythm. Shake, 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 pause, and then vary the pattern. He'll soon be able to tell the difference between numbers of shakes he's hearing. Help your baby shake the rattle and learn that 2 shakes feel different from 3. This helps him start building associations between numbers, sounds, and movement. Making connections. So this is with regard to the framed mirror. Mirror gazing is a favorite activity for 3 to 4 month olds. Your baby doesn't yet recognize with her own face, but she gets to see a fascinating and adorable human looking back at her. I think they don't start recognizing that it's them until they're about 1 year old, is what I think I read. Place the mirror on the floor or prop it against something for tummy time reflections. Support your baby while she's sitting in your lap and make faces in the mirror while you're having a conversation together. Point to your nose or any other part of your face, then to your baby's nose or the matching part of your face in the mirror and talk about what you're doing. She'll also enjoy staring at the high contrast black and white illustration on the back of the mirror during tummy time or side lying. Encouraging motor control. Oh, okay, this is about the rolling bell. This is called the rolling bell. When your baby plays with the rolling bell, he discovers new ways to coordinate his senses. The feel of the wood when he's grasping it, the sound it makes when you or he rolls and shakes it, how it moves when it's rolling. Entertain him during tummy time by rolling the bell in front of him on a hard surface. Use the bell to encourage him to roll from back to side. Lay him on his back and place the bell just out of reach. Make the bell ring. Watch as he pulls his legs up and starts to roll over to the side where the noise just came from. Your baby may start to roll from back to side sometime between 4 and 5.5 months. She'll definitely do that. Last night I went in to check on her whenever I came to bed and she was laying on her side. She typically likes to lay on her stomach, but she's rolling over from her stomach to her side because that's the way she can roll over. She can't roll over the opposite way yet. So ever since she was a little baby, the only way that she could sleep was putting her on her stomach. But now we'll put her on her stomach with her outlet monitor on in her mesh crib, even though they always say put them on their back. But It's easier said than done when your baby's screaming and the only time they're going to sleep is on their stomach. But now she will roll herself over from her stomach to her back like a turtle. But she will sleep like that for many hours now. Sometimes when she wakes up, when she realizes she's on her back, she'll start screaming and all you gotta do is flip her back over. But last night she was sleeping on her side. Next card is using both sides of the brain. And that would be the hand-to-hand discs. Passing an object between two hands is a step babies work toward for months. Getting it right involves coordination across the center of her body. Skilled hand-to-hand transfer won't happen until between months 5 and 7. So I have seen her passing her rattle or her teether from hand to hand. So she's right on track with that. It's the basis for later motions such as dressing herself, eating with utensils, holding crayons, and running. These joined discs are a Montessori classic. They help babies practice manipulating an object in one hand and eventually passing it to another. At first, your baby may grasp other things like rings or rattles while struggling with the discs, since holding them requires her to build up new fine motor skills. Holding the discs by month 4 is a major accomplishment for any baby. Don't worry if it takes some practice. With your baby is one of the very best things you can do. Help build his developing brain. The more you talk with him, the more he understands and the more he'll eventually learn to say by himself. Hearing lots of words early is proven to expand babies' mental capacities. I definitely talk to her during the day. It's just me and her around here during the day. This morning I actually started humming and singing to her, and she's so quiet and attentive when I do that. She really loves being sung to. Stick with it. Your baby is processing what he's hearing, even if it doesn't seem to be listening to you. And that is the thing that fascinates me, because I have very little experience with other children, but I have noticed that babies understand a lot more early on than they can communicate. They communicate much later. So kid can be, I don't really know the ages. It could be it's like under a year, but you could tell them, please go put this in the trash. And they can do it, but they can't say the words. And it's crazy how one piece of development is faster than the other. Kind of like how some people can speak a language, but they can't write it. It's kind of like that. Like the brain works in interesting ways, obviously. Around the house tours. Seeing how things work in the everyday world is foundational for a baby's brain development. Walk around with your baby while explaining and exploring the many different parts and aspects of where you live. Show her how different things work as you go. Narrated tours are also a great option for outside time. Take a walk around the neighborhood or the yard and explore together. That's going to be what I'll do when I take her out when it gets warmer, because she's tolerating longer stints of like just interacting more. So I think it'll be fascinating to her and take up a lot of her attention when we walk the neighborhood, when I go down to the store, when I go into a restaurant, because I'm a takeout queen and I don't cook, so I'm always going out for takeout. Danny currently brings things home to me, except for it's on the weekends, then I get out and go get it. But when it gets warmer, I'll start taking her out with me more. At first, to places that are very, very close by, just in case she has a meltdown. Floor play, which one of the first things I ever bought her was an activity mat. So when she's on her back, the one that I got her is one of those skip hop ones that has lights around the top and also makes sounds. It has a couple different songs. The toys are detachable, so she can bat at them when she's on her back, and then when she's doing tummy time, they're detachable so that she can play with them while she's on the floor. The floor is a perfect place for your baby to play. It may seem obvious, but many occupational therapists recommend babies spend more time on the floor and less time in swings or seats to help them build more core muscles and neck strength. Put things like the rolling bell and the hand-to-hand discs nearby for her to move toward, grasp, or manipulate. Your baby will also want to extend her legs and push them against something to build her leg muscles. Place your hands against the bottoms of her feet and see if she pushes her legs against you. Danny was doing that the other day while we were all in bed, and she was pushing against it and kind of moving forward. Airplane tummy time. I haven't done this, but I think that would be a lot of, well, I worry because she spits up and drools. Like that would be, I mean, Danny already, think that when you're a mom, you just hear fandom cries. You just hear baby cries all the time, even when there's no baby cries. Danny actually does this a lot, and I make fun of him because he puts her directly over his face, and I'm like, you're gonna get spit up in your face one day. Looks like there are a couple more books. This one talks about the care of each item. Yeah, like how to clean it and take care of each item. There's another box titled Talking. It can be awkward to talk to someone who doesn't really talk back yet. Danny seemed very awkward when he tried to talk to Vivi early on. It came a little bit more natural to me. And then it has different topics. So it says, let's talk about ... And then it says, what I wish I could do all day long. What I wish you could do all day long. The dream I had last night. Coincidentally, I'm keeping track of all the crazy dreams that I've been having since she was born because they have started to get off the rails. Typically, before she was born, my dreams were never great. I typically have dark dreams, but after she was born, they just started becoming crazy. I still have some recurring dreams, but I want to do a video all about the dreams that I had. And so what I've been doing is when I have a crazy one, I get up half asleep with my phone next to me and I write it down. And both the dream and the way that I write it down is hilarious because I'm still half asleep. Some of these dreams I do remember because they're vivid enough. Some of them I don't remember, and also I don't remember getting up to write them down. Squeaker thinks that every box that comes into this house is for her. Squeaker is my cat, and she just knocked over the box that these came in. Singing and nursery rhymes are important types of conversation as well. I sing all the time to her. Even funny made up dumb songs, like I have a diaper changing song, I have a bath time song. So the next video after this is going to be the censor box for months 5 and 6. But if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe. If you have a baby, you're on the same age, if you're pregnant, if you have babies, you know, in the past that are around these ages, and if you have anything you want to add, any advice, any funny stories, if you are going to be subscribing to Lovevery, and if you have any questions about how she's been playing with them, if they work out, if she likes them, or if they didn't work out and she doesn't like them. I'm really trying to find a community of people who like the same things that I do, maybe are mothers, maybe like other things that I post about, because my channel has a lot of different kinds of videos because I am a person and I have different interests. So I'll see you in the next video, which I'm making right now after this one.